Hi students, good day. I am Somasundaram from Bharathidasanar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Dear students, in this session of video, we are going to discuss about quantum mechanical model of atom. This is our unit 2 and this is the first video in this chapter. See students, whenever we encounter about the structure of an atom, we should start study about Dalton's atomic theory. That is the first step towards the discoverance of atoms. Okay. The next step is how the scientist found the presence of subatomic particles in an atom. And then they have described about the properties like physical and chemical properties of elements and how they are making molecules. Okay. Then the spectroscopy, it is very basic need to chemist. Okay. See, using a spectroscopy only, we are identifying how the atoms are arranged as well as how the molecules are formed. So in this video, we are going to describe how the atoms, how can we understand the structure of an atom. First, discovery of electron. I know that you all know about the discovery of electron. J.J. Thomson, yes, he is the one who discovered electron. See, he was doing an experiment which is known as cathode ray experiment. Okay. See, he was using a discharge tube. From the discharge tube, it is actually a thin walled glass tube having a vacuum pump. So by connecting a vacuum pump to the discharge tube, we can evacuate all the gases inside the tube. Okay. So it will be vacuum. Next, there is a cathode as well as anode which is connected to a high voltage potential. So when we apply high voltage potential in the discharge tube, what happened? Some kind of rays are passing from cathode to anode. Okay. So this ray has been called cathode ray. Why? Because it is started from cathode and ended to anode. Okay. And the presence of cathode ray has been found because of the glowing happened in the zinc sulfide screen. So this is the first step towards the finding the structure of atom. Okay. The next one. And after the discovery of cathode rays, J.J. Thomson curious about the properties of these cathode rays. So he was doing another kind of experiment. In this experiment, he can able to find out the E by m ratio, charge by mass ratio of that particle. He was not aware of the electron, but he can identify the E by m ratio of electron. So what is the E by m value of electron? That is 1.758820. What is the unit of E? That is charge, coulomb. And the mass is maybe denoted in gram or else kilogram. So the unit is coulomb per kilogram. Why he was doing this experiment? See, you don't know, you don't aware of the charge as well as mass. But by doing this experiment, he can able to predict the value, calculate the value. Maybe in future, some other scientists may come and if they find the value of E, that is charge, he can able to identify the mass as well as if they find out the mass value, they can identify the value of E. That is why he was doing this experiment. Next experiment was done by Mulliken. He was a very good scientist. He was doing an experiment to identify the charge of that electron. Okay. So because of this oil drop experiment, this is known as oil drop experiment which was done by Mulliken. So from this experiment, he can identify the charge of single electron. That is 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So previously, J.J. Thomson found the value of E by m ratio. So by substituting the E value, he can able to identify the mass also. Okay. So after the experiment of Mulliken, the charge of electron as well as mass of a single electron was identified. Next step towards the structure of atom is Rutherford. So Rutherford done an experiment which is called as alpha ray scattering experiment. He was taking a golden thin foil. Using that gold foil, he was striking with alpha ray, with alpha rays. Alpha rays are generally dye-positive helium ions. Because of the positive charge, he thought that the alpha ray may be getting slowed down because of the atoms inside available in a gold foil, and it may change, it may give some other observations, but the observations were different. He was observing three different phenomena. One is, most of the particles were easily penetrating through the gold foil, okay, and reaching the screen, and he was seeing the glow immediately, and also it is a continuous glow. Some of the particles were deflected and they are glowing in around the corners, everywhere. What about the third observation? It is very important observation. Only small, very small amount of particles were rebounded 180 degree. Okay, so these are all the three important observations observed by Rutherford, and he found that nucleus, the presence of nucleus in an atom, because heliums are dye-positive ions. So when it is attacking the atom, see, the center has the nucleus which is positively charged. Because of that, the dye-positive helium ions have been deflected. Okay, so he found that the presence of nucleus in an atom. And then the next discovery, that is proton and neutron. Proton first. Proton has been discovered by Goldstein. He was doing the same kind of experiment which was done by Thomson. Okay, so same, but here only one different. He was taking some gases inside the discharge tube. Okay, when he was passing the high voltage current in the discharge tube, he was observing the exact opposite of J.J. Thomson. Glow happened at the cathode side. So some kind of rays were passing from anode to cathode. Anode to cathode. Because of that, he called it as anode ray. But it depends upon the gas what we are filling inside the discharge tube. So actually there is the positive ion formation happening inside the discharge tube. So anyway, he found that there is some kind of particles available inside the atom, they are positively charged. Okay, and here I have mentioned some of the properties of subatomic particles, electron, proton as well as neutron. The first property, absolute charge of electron. What is it? It is minus 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, whereas the proton, it is positively charged, right? But electron is negatively charged. So it is minus 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, whereas the proton, it is having the positive charge. So plus 1.6022 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. See, they are equal in charge. So in every atom, number of electron and number of proton are always equal. Then only it will make a neutral atom. Next, neutron. Yes, in the name itself, it is easily understood that it is neutral in charge. Next, the relation of charge. Yes, we can relate the charge. If you consider the charge 1.602 as a relative one, you can identify that electron carries 1 unit, proton also carries 1 unit, but electron minus 1, proton plus 1. Neutron is always 0, right? Next, absolute mass of electron, which was found by Mulliken experiment, that is 9.11 into 10 power minus 31 kilogram, or else you can convert it into gram also, that is 9.11 into 10 power minus 28 gram. Next, proton mass. This is a way much higher than the electron, that is 1.67262 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. Whereas the neutron carries a little bit more than the proton mass, that is 1.6749 into 10 power minus 27 kilogram. So if you consider the mass of electron, proton and neutron, electron's mass is negligible. That is why if you consider the mass number, we consider only the number of electron number of proton and number of neutron. We are neglecting number of electron. Next, the relative mass. The relative mass of electron is 0.00054 AMU. AMU refers to atomic mass unit. Next, for proton, that is way much higher, 1.00727 AMU, whereas the neutron which is slightly higher than the mass of proton, so it is 1.00867 AMU. So next, students, the specific charge. The specific charge of electron, it is coulomb per kilogram, that is 1.76 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kilogram for electron, whereas proton carries 9.58 into 10 power 7 coulomb per kilogram. That is nothing but E by M ratio. E by M ratio of electron as well as proton. So thank you very much, students. In this video, we have been discussing about how the atomic structure has been found. Okay. So thank you very much, students. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through email. Thank you.